Hey guys, welcome back. Let's do a fall garland upgrade today. So this is a wimpy garland that I got on clearance after the season. And you can see there's so much blank space in it. And stuff hasn't fallen off. This is just how it was sold. So fortunately it was like 90% off. Here are some things that I just have on hand that I've collected in the craft bins over the years. Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree, Ross. Those leaves are from Dollar Tree. Those are wonderful. We're going to use a lot of those. There's a supply list at the end of the video, so you'll be able to get more information about that. But these are just things that I have left over after years of fall decorating. That garland is from Dollar Tree. Gourds, you name it, everything from the craft room. So we're first going to expand the base of the garland by adding the largest leaves I have. So these glitter leaves came from a gal who was closing down her craft business. She bought them at a store in a different state, and I got a whole bunch of them and saved them. So again, we're just expanding the footprint of the garland to give it a bigger impact. And if you are using hot glue, I highly recommend the handy dandy silicone finger protectors from Dollar Tree. And here you'll see I'm just gluing a little leaf over the end piece. I don't like the frayed ends showing, and then there's that little loop at the end, so we're covering that all. Same thing at the other end, just get that covered and out of our way. So I'm just going to work my way down the garland with the leaves. Kind of spread them out a little bit because I don't have a lot. Now we go and add large flowers. So I have 3 clip-on flowers that I think go with this color scheme, and I'm going to add those in. Just kind of space them throughout the wreath evenly. You'll see all of this at the end in terms of the bigger picture and how they're spaced out. The great thing about these clip-on flowers is that you can, if your wreath disintegrates over the years or you get tired of it, you can always pull the flowers off and reuse them. So these 3 clip-ons, I believe, came from Hobby Lobby many years ago in their clearance section. So now I'm looking at these empty spots between my large leaves, and I'm going to go in with my little Dollar Tree leaves and just kind of tack those all along the way. I used dozens and dozens of the Dollar Tree leaves to fill in the gaps on this, and you'll see I'm tacking some glue here on the underside of the leaf to get it to fill in that gap. Just filling in all the blank spaces along the wreath so that there aren't any dead spots. Giving it a nice base, a nice foundation, a nice footprint. So these little Dollar Tree leaves are pretty thin and they can look a little chintzy. So some of the smaller ones, I like to glue 2 of them together like this. And it gives it a bolder color. You don't have to, just something I found that works a little better with the smaller ones. So here you can see the difference. The top one kind of see through there, and the lower one has more depth to it. So you'll see me doing a lot of layering of leaves. I love a lot of depth and dimension, a lot of color changes. So you'll see that's wedged between two other leaves, and then there are tons of leaves on either side. So just going along, filling in those gaps. Using my base leaves to attach to that, move all that stuff out of the way. Just showing you a few of these so you can see how I do it. This is another pack of the Dollar Tree leaves, lots of different kinds. When you see them, buy them up because they disappear pretty quickly. You'll notice I have that metal pizza tin underneath, and that catches the glue. I like to work on the floor in my craft room, and of course that glue, hot glue, gets everywhere. I don't want it on the carpet. I've already had to cut several pieces out. Now this little leaf I don't love, so I'm going to tack another one over the top of it, but leave it in there for some, again, dimension and depth. So now I'm trying to move my clip-on flower out of the way and get some leaves up under there. Give that some more dimension. This is definitely the most tedious part, gluing all of these leaves on. Again, dozens and dozens. Here's another one of those little flimsy pieces that I don't love. But the texture's fun and I want to give it just a little more dimension, so I'm going to leave it on there and we're going to doctor it up a little bit. So get that in place and quickly tack on one of my double small leaves. A little more green. Again, just working my way all the way up and down the wreath, moving things, the garland, moving things around. With my craft business, I used to make a ton of wreaths, so wreaths are on the brain. You can check out those at Love Letters by Jennifer on Facebook, and then I have other YouTube videos making some wreaths in different gift baskets and all sorts of things. So you can see here I've added some dimension to that little piece. And there's another one, so that one just ripped off. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the leaves that I want in their layers. And then I'm going to take that existing piece that it came off of and reuse it. Just tack it right back on there. You guys have to forgive my janky fingernails. So now we're going to embellish with some other items. I'm going to pull out my gourds here. Pumpkins, just the little random pieces that I have. These are three that I like, I want to work with. And then some pumpkins. Good amount of glue there. Make sure it doesn't come off. And then I see these open spots. You can see where the garland is showing through and the garland itself. And so I want to cover those up, and I use my embellishments to do that. So now I see a little open spot around the pumpkin. So shove some leaves in there, fill it up. you have several different packages of leaves, it's best just to lay them out so you can see what you're working with and you don't repeat them too close together if you only have a few of one kind. Attached a little gourd there, and then you can see I've got some empty space. So I have this little piece of garland that I'm going to plug right in. Just random stuff that came off another wreath. There's a little acorn. I bought a large bag of those from Ross years ago. Just gives you an idea of where we are, progress. And I'm going to tack on a glitter pumpkin here. And I glued the leaves onto the pumpkin because that was easier and I needed more coverage for that large spot. And then we just put the whole thing right there on the empty spot. Another little gourd. Some acorns. I don't love that the orange is right next to the red. I want a little bit more contrast, so I'm going back here and adding in some green, but not covering up the red entirely because I do want that to show through. Again, creating that dimension, those different layers of different colors. And you'll see I glued the leaf to the gourd this time. And what that does is it makes it stand up a little bit. So if you want a little bit of height, then you can do that instead of gluing it on top of another leaf. So now we'll add an acorn or two. Again, just creating some dimension. Another little pumpkin. This one has a little blemish on it, so I'm trying to hide that under the leaves. Add some pine cones. Another gourd. Again, just all of the things that you can buy on clearance at the end of the season. Keep on hand. And don't stress about it too much. I mean, everything can be taken apart and covered up. If there's glue left behind or something like that, don't stress about it. Another little pumpkin. More glitter. Some leaves for dimension. Make sure those stick. Some acorns. Another little piece of the twig, the berries. And this is a little hack. These berries, I love them, but they chip off and fall off and lose their color. So this is just a little marker that I got from Dollar Tree that happens to match the color reasonably enough. So I just went in and colored that in. Good to have those on hand in a few different colors. Filling in some more spots. Another open space means an opportunity for a gourd. We want those peppered throughout. Do some wiggling and finagling to try and get it to fit. And I've come to the other end, so I'm going to put the other pumpkin Add an acorn, and I think we're good. So here's what it looks like from a distance. You can see the huge difference from the beginning. Lots more depth, dimension, character. And there's our final product. Really happy with the colors in this one, very pretty. So here's another before and after of one that I did. This was the before, so this is the garland that I got on clearance. And then here's the after. Added a bunch of different stuff to this one, some sunflowers, gourds, again, acorns. The green in there is a hydrangea that I broke up into pieces and sprinkled throughout the garland. It was too big to go in one spot, so I cut it all up and sprinkled it throughout. Those are just some little owl lights, orange owl lights from Dollar Tree. I really need a couple of strands for this, but they were an afterthought. I usually use those in my gift baskets. Here it is, you can see on our piano. Here's the supply list. So this is for the one that we built in the video. A lot of the supplies for the other ones came from the same place. Thanks so much for watching, guys.